Welcome back to the garage, guys. So here's what we have. I have a K&S Roadrunner. I believe it's K&S. I know they made the Hornets, and I know this is a different variation sold as the Roadrunner. Still learning the history on these bikes. But anyway, this one is pretty crusty. I got it off a good buddy of mine. He graciously let me buy it off of him. He's got too many projects. Anyway, I hadn't planned on making any progress videos for this. I was just going to make one video at the end of me putting it together. But once I started tearing it apart, I wanted to film just little bits and pieces here and there. So here it is. All right, I'm going to start documenting the teardown of this Roadrunner. So I have started to try to break a few bolts loose. Bought it from a buddy of mine, and he'd already taken a few things apart and added some new bolts. So like on the fender, there's some new bolts there. There's some new bolts up on the handlebars, some for the springs inside the shock towers. I've added some new bolts here, axle bolts. I'm going to use these old school Go Power Sports wheels. I got those off a Golden Pinto I got over there, if you can kind of see it. Man, the camera is really struggling there to focus. There it is. I've got the other one over here. So I'm gonna tear that down and powder coat it a gunmetal color instead of the natural color. I got some of the original style tires here from our friends at Go Power Sports. I also got a brake band, so when I get into that, we'll get that going. This other stuff is just random stuff, extra stuff that I have. I even have a throttle cable and some chain in there somewhere. As for the shocks, I also got some shocks from Go Power Sports, because these are they're hosed. But I'm going to, these should fit just fine, and they'll look cool on there too. I've got a seat in mind that I'm gonna get for it. Probably gonna do like a brown leather seat. Bike's gonna be blue, kind of a light metallic blue. Not real light, but just like a sky metallic blue, maybe a little darker, and then with a lot of gunmetal accents, maybe some red accents, we'll see. So far, I've already broke the spring off. This kickstand was pretty much seized up, but I knocked on it with a hammer and got it loose. Tried to take one of the shock bolts off. There's this side of it, the other side broke off in there, so I'm gonna try to tap that out with a punch or something to get that out. But I'll get the rest of this out. So here is the carnage. I only broke a couple of bolts. Bolts on the foot pegs sheared off the edges of the cap, whatever you call it. Jack shaft is still pretty rusty. I don't know if I'm gonna attempt to take that apart. I'll probably try to take some of it apart, obviously, because I have to get it done. But I have a gentleman that has a larger sandblaster, buddy of mine. He's going to, he'll take the frame and sandblast that. I'm gonna sandblast all these other pieces. I have the regular, the Harbor Freight one there. You may have seen in my other videos. Then I'll hit all the small parts. I'll get the fenders and all that good stuff. Get those sandblasted. I'm gonna use all pretty much new hardware, so all that stuff I'm gonna scrap. The other thing I have an issue with is the kickstand. It's pretty crusty. I did break it loose, but the nut that came off the other side came off, but the stud is seized up in there. So I'll let my buddy put some heat on it and see if he can get that out. The frame is not too bad. The bars are pretty pitted. I mean, it's got some pitting in it right here, but I'm gonna use, there is a powder primer. I'll probably use that to try to fill up some of these holes on the seat bracket here, and probably on the frame, because I have powder coated one of my mini bikes that had a lot of pitting on it, and it came out okay. That green one over there, it came out pretty good. You can still see the pitting in it. Right there, just looks bumpy, but let's focus in on that. looks bumpy, but it came out all right. Of course, with a smooth frame, this is a smooth frame, and even a smooth frame, I had some dings. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but there's some dings on there, on that frame, but it'll work out. It'll be awesome. Here's the engine for the bike. It's a 3.5 horsepower Tecumseh. Came off an Edger. I would like to find a 4 horsepower one, but I'm having trouble locating one of those. So this is the one I'm going to use for now, and I'm going to do the same thing I did for the Bonanza on this one. It's just basically just take it apart, hit it with a wire brush and some maybe simple green, get it real nice and clean, and then try to powder coat the covers. I'll probably just put engine paint on the engine itself, just some silver engine paint or something. But the rest of it, I'll try to clean up. The muffler, I might clean up unless I can find a cool aftermarket muffler to stick on there. That's still trying to figure that all out. The fuel tank was in the way when I put it in the frame. And actually the fuel tank was on the back part of the engine. So when I put it in the bike, it was gonna hit back here. And of course that's not gonna work. So, and then if I switch it to the front, man, that exhaust is in the way. So I don't know. Gonna have to, oops, I'm sorry. What the heck I'm talking about. If I switch it to the front, I don't know if I have holes line. Those holes line up almost, kinda. I'd have to probably make another bracket for it. Or just get an external cool looking fuel tank for it, because this is going to be pretty close to original, but it's going to be, it's a resto mod. I'm going to build it as original as I can, but it'll have a couple of modern touches on it. These shocks, same thing with these. I'm going to sandblast these, get them clean, and then I'll probably put some super chrome on there, so it'll look cool. I even thought about super chrome in this back section of the bike. Not sure, we'll see. I love the heck out of some super chrome. For the forks, I'll probably sandblast those myself. You can see where the Roadrunner decal used to be. I'm gonna make a custom decal. It'll probably cover the whole plate, but it'll still have the Roadrunner graphic in it. But I might print it on chrome vinyl. So we'll see how that looks. But that's pretty solid and pretty good shape. I'm still gonna put these same stripe decals all over the bike. I'll make those, I'll just print those myself since I make my own decals. Save that brass bushing on there, there's 2 of them. So that'll be pretty cool. Again, I mentioned the wheels. I'm going to sandblast these and powder coat them a graphite color. I already ordered the powder for it. I've got the powder for the wheels and the powder for the frame, but now that I'm looking at it, I need to get some primer powder coat, because I'm gonna probably try to primer it first to smooth it out to make it look a little better. But that is what I'm starting with. This is part 1. I'm not gonna film everything, but I'll probably film a little bit of some stuff as I'm working through it, but I wanted to get something uploaded for you guys. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. I need more subscribers. I gotta hit 1,000. Tell your buddies. Thanks.